The most degenerate streamer. Who could it possibly be?
So if I asked you who the most disgusting person on the internet was, chances are people that might make that list is a person like Christian who had all the personality features of a hoarder, and obviously I'm not talking about the crimes they did as well. Another candidate may be Lovely Peaches.
I don't know
who made
who
a
that
song
is.
about her vagina experiencing a yeast infection.
Okay.
Burning and itching, burning and itching.
That's probably a scratch and sniff that would induce vomiting.
Jesus.
And she also made some weird comments about her own child.
I'm so happy right now because I'm going to kill my own baby.
Maybe even the name at the bottom of the list would be yourself, because we all know what you did that one night when you were unsupervised with an empty Pringles can and a glove. You complete degenerate. But no, someone that I would have in my head would be Asmongold, which in no way is worse than any of the names I just mentioned. In fact, he would be considered a clean freak and diagnosed with obsessive cleaning disorder. Maybe Mr. Sillet Banning himself.
I don't know about that.
A UK joke, you wouldn't get it, because he is in no way comparable to any of these people. However, Asmongold or Zach is an interesting case of someone that has an income equivalent to 10 times your yearly salary, but lives in a slum like it was a RuneScape dungeon, and he was the dungeon boss hoarding all the gold.
It's not a RuneScape. It's a nice place. I have this is a normal house. Like, I cleaned up a lot of the house. Now, I could not clean up the blood wall. It is in the paint. I have to take the paint off. I tried to do it. It's in the paint. I have to paint over it.
Being a colony of cockroaches and moldy Wendy's cups. But today,
whoa, look, this is before I went to BlizzCon. This is a good day for me, man. Look at that. Damn, bro, look at that. Wow. We got some rotten food down there. These are the good days. Yeah, bro, like this is like 2017, I think. Yeah, like my room store. Yeah.
Moldy Wendy's cups. But today I wanted to talk about Asmongold because at some point he was almost considered a lol cow and one of the most putrid streamers alive, with key events like using a dead rat as an alarm clock, and because he is someone I've been following for a while. Not physically, because the slipstream of dead cockroaches and rodents would make it impossible. I think I'd rather—
I don't smell bad. Other people smell bad. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't know about me, is that I don't smell bad. Fat people smell bad. That's right. I'm not fat. I don't smell bad. Only fat people smell bad. Dust? No, I don't smell like dust. It's not. She didn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Deal with Nagel himself than that, and because—
oh yeah, by the way, this is really interesting. Nurgle, the unclean one. Is this, do I have to search Nurgle by itself? Okay, thank God, now it's been removed. Last time I searched this, the first image that came up was a picture of me. Thank you, Google. I'm no longer being cyberbullied by Google. Do images?
By his living conditions, controversies, and somewhat hard life initially, he has risen to be one of the most engaging and popular streamers, and quite possibly on the horizon might change his act entirely.
Yo, it's me. It's your boy Asmongold.
Now, Asmongold or Zach had their initial debut on the internet on YouTube was in 2008 with the world—
I actually uploaded videos onto MySpace before that, where I would throw fireworks into people's yards and shit as like a teenager. Yeah, I was a real problem boy. Like, the moment that I could get a video camera and upload content onto the internet, I was doing it. I was like 14 years old, 15 years old. If I was 7, I would have been doing it. I would have been like one of those 7-year-olds like uploading psychotic bullshit. That would have been me.
Of Warcraft videos. World of Warcraft at this point is basically the pre-game lobby before the nursing home, with the average
Get the fuck.
age of the consistent player being in their late 50s with constant reminiscing and complaining how Blizzard screwed the game up, and it's not as good as the good old days like Wrath of the Lich King. Aside from that fact, in 2009, most of you weren't even conceived yet, and the world had just been blessed with the best Call of Duty of all time, and I had just gained awareness of my existence.
Idiot.
Around this time, Zach was uploading to his channel Zach Raw, and mostly uploaded WoW content.
I did. I would upload that, and then I would upload real life stuff. We had to take some of the videos down because they were so bad. Like, we had all kinds of bad videos up all the time. Like, y'all should see, like, I'll tell you this. The amount of IRL content that I have uploaded onto YouTube is less than 10% of the videos that I have. If you want to look like at a gross amount, it's less than 10%.
Then with some home life content that looks like it was filmed on a flip phone and was the precursor to Cloverfield.
Yeah.
But you could also see some wholesome videos, like his mom hitting level 60 in WoW, which is quite the time sink. But this went on for quite...
No, you don't understand. It's a time sink. But for her... 50 days /played. It took her to hit level 60. She took her motherfucking time. She was just playing the game for fun. That was it.
Oh, wow. WoW videos followed by random videos of his life, or ranting at the camera and acting like he just got shocked with a taser.
This was the day that they took off my internet. My mom didn't pay the internet bill because she didn't get her tax refund because she didn't file the paperwork, and then she didn't get the internet. And so what we did in that time period is I moved my computer over to my dad's house, and I would just raid at my dad's house. And I went back to playing Super Nintendo. This is in the year 2011, by the way. And my mom went back to playing Age of Empires 2. So we literally, like, we went back in time like 15 years when the internet got removed.
Fuck you think around IC.
But from these early videos, you can see the first glimpse of a raw personality.
By the way, this is the same room. You can see this is the exact same room, the same place. Yep.
Refined and certainly rough around the edges, but would later evolve to be his best selling point. And said selling point was about to get a growth spurt when in 2011 he began streaming on Twitch, which Twitch in 2011 was a very different place than it is today.
Yeah.
The website barely worked, and I'm pretty sure you had people streaming Hell's Kitchen 24/7, on top of the fact nobody even knew about it. But it was a temporary place for Asmongold, whose first few streams had no viewers whatsoever, so he quickly gave up.
Well, no. So this is what happened, is that I streamed once in like 2011 or 2012. I forgot when, but I know it was like killing people in World PvP and Timeless Isle, I think. So it might have been 2013. And I would kill people, and then I wouldn't have anybody come into the chat, except for there was a guy that came into the chat that had the same name as the guy that I killed, and he called me the homophobic F word. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, well, I'm not really, like, why am I turning this on? It's like lowering my frame rate. And then I stopped streaming. That he called me a fruit. Yeah, no, he called me fantastic, actually. And yeah, that's what happened. He called me his friend, a frog. Well, no, we were killing frogs though, to be fair. And Yeah, no, and then so a little bit later after that, no, it was actually before then. The first time I was ever on Twitch, I had 2,000 viewers. I was on Towley's stream. So Towley used to join GDKP raids, and I used to run GDKP raids. And so me and my real life friend Jeff, like this is Jeff, like in any of the videos, this was Jeff, before he went to the Marines or anything. And we would run GDKPs and we'd scam all the money. And he told me that somehow I kept having people coming into the vent server and they were saying that like I was an asshole and they were telling me to kill myself. And I was like, well, this is more than usual. Like, what's going on here? And then we found out that there was a guy streaming the raid. And I was like, okay. And then I'm like, what is streaming? Like, I don't really know what streaming is. And I found out that there was like this like weird like guy like wearing sunglasses that's like playing WoW. Like, who the fuck is this guy? And he has 2,000 people watching it. Why would anybody watch this guy play video games? Like, he's not as good as me. Like, because, you know, this is like back at like the peak of my fucking ego, right? And I was really good at the game back then, to be fair. And so I was like, well, what is this? So like, okay, well, if this many people are watching and they're having fun, I'm going to make this really funny. And so I streamed it and like we had so much fun. I remember we killed Ragnaros and I stole like 30,000 gold from everybody. It was one of the best days I ever had. And then everybody told me I should be a streamer after that. I should do it. But then I didn't want to because I was going to make a cryptocurrency trading website in like 2011 to scam people and to harvest their data. And so I ended up not doing that because my friend that gave me the idea to do it went to prison for like 2 years. They actually found him. This is another complicated thing. And so he was making a lot of money. He was making like 7 figures a month doing this. And I was like, this is a great idea. I'm going to do it too. And he was talking with me about it. And then I went back to school. I went to business school for a while. I was going to go to law school and like get my life together. But luckily enough, you know, I kind of stopped doing that. But yeah. That's what it was. That's why like the like offline screen for my YouTube for like my my like Asmongold Twitch channel says youtube.com/virtual exchange. I was only using the YouTube channel as a funnel to get people to go to the crypto website so I could farm them for transaction fees and then sell their data and scam them. But I never really got around to it because YouTube's sort of getting more popular. Yeah.
And still made YouTube videos.
That's gross, dude. Oh, yeah, I know.
His personality had somewhat grown, and he was a lot more charismatic on camera. Like this video.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Asmongold.
But he was starting to see the fruits of his labor, but not for the reason you'd expect. One of his videos would get posted to the front page of Reddit, showing the deplorable conditions he was living in, and appropriately titled Asmongold Lair.
Yes.
And after seeing this success, he exclaimed he didn't really mind people on Reddit critiquing him and saying he was disgusting.
Fuck him.
The key point of his personality, which is shown today, he just did not give a fuck.
I'm not embarrassed. Like, if I was embarrassed, I'd clean it up.
That's what I always thought was funny about people that make fun of me for showing shit on my stream. It's like if I really didn't, if I didn't want people to talk about this or make fun of me for it, I wouldn't have shown it on my stream. I would have never shown it. That's it. And so what happened was like, so, and this is what was really ironic about it, is that the day, so I recorded this, and you know what I did right after this? I went and I got one of my teeth pulled out. So basically, it was the night before I had because like this is like the beginning of whenever my teeth started like really rotting out, and I started to have to get them pulled out. And so the ICC raid, no, that's whenever I could still break pieces of them off with pliers, but these were getting infected, right? And so I had to get rid of them. And so like at the time, I didn't have any money. And I had to go to like a government place, and they pulled the tooth out for like $10. And then they were like, all right, get the fuck out of here. And it was the exact same day that this happened. Yeah, that hurt a fuckload. Well, I mean, I was like kind of, because like this Reddit post, it was the top post on the front page of Reddit at the time. it was like everybody was talking about this and like talking about my room, and it was the first time that like anything I had done really got super popular, and I was like, man, this was fun. I should do this again. That's what it was. That was the first time. That causes jaw deterioration, by the way. Yeah, that's why I have a beard, by the way. Yeah, if you look at like right here, like you can see my jawline is very clearly different than the way it is now. And if you look at myself at like 17 or 18, it's much more different than this.
Wait, that means I am embarrassed.
Yeah,
Shit.
see?
His cum dungeon had just been exposed to the entire world. People thought he was living in some third world country, when in fact he was living in America. Okay, fair point.
Okay.
It may as well be one.
Good one.
And he was fine with it, and got a lot of subscribers and attention from it. Even labeling the video #finallyfamous,
Yep.
and saying he was going to change his life, and to mark the occasion of said decision, it was a Sprite day.
Yeah, I was
I'll
going to
take-
drink a Sprite and...
Hey,
Yeah,
one thing in those comments to maybe do, you know, I'm eating healthy today. I'm only having a Sprite. I
yeah
was
the
gonna
only real reason for that is because I was getting my tooth pulled that day. And it would have hurt. That's the real reason.
have a Dr. Pepper. I
Yeah.
thought to myself, you know what? I got to get my life turned around. Today is a Sprite day.
Which
Yeah.
is something Asmongold adored. He loved sugary drinks and fast food, something that in the modern day he is known for, even gagging on water because it didn't have any sugary goodness.
That's better. Wow. Who the fuck drinks this shit?
And don't even get me started on
Look, man, like we gotta keep it fun, man. We gotta keep things entertaining. Abso-fucking-lutely, I'm doing shit like that. Yes, 100%.
the $2 steak argument.
It was
but
a
this
good
is
one.
something that would impact
That's
his
a good
life
save.
later down the line. And the statement he was going to turn his life around and it was
Yeah.
a Sprite day would not be a prophecy that would come true anytime soon.
No.
But right now he had just got his first dose of fame, and it was only up from there. People had seen this personality,
Mm-hmm.
and some had begun to love our dirty little degenerate. He began uploading
Oh
general
yeah, this is when I would start uploading very regularly. We had to take so many videos down because they retroactively violated the YouTube TOS. Like we took down probably like 15 videos.
live videos on top of WoW content,
Yeah.
but decided to start a channel only for WoW content in 2014, and he named it Asmongold.
Imagine
there he
that.
began uploading regular WoW videos, with the occasional rant video about WoW, to the Asmongold channel, and saw varying success, arguably down to his personality and his
Oh,
informative
it was
videos.
massively successful. I was the best channel. Everybody watched me. I had the most views on all the videos, and I was also the best player of all the people that made videos about general WoW content. So it made sense, right, that people would watch me because I was the best.
On WoW. But when he hit a decent amount of subscribers, he decided to make
Yeah.
a decision that would
how
greatly
it is.
impact his life going forward. And that
I'm
was
not
to
bragging. I'm
start
just saying
streaming
this is how it
again.
is.
What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I've kind of got a little bit of an announcement to make, is that I'm going to start streaming.
And when he eventually
Yeah.
did, he got over 250 people to watch him live on his first day streaming back. And
Yep, that's right. It was a lot of people. Like everybody tuned in for that shit. Because like also I remember what we did is like I remember I solo killed Nefarian, and then I was giving away kills for Invincible because I could solo it. It was in Mists of Pandaria. And then I don't remember how this happened, but I killed Nefarian, and then I went downstairs and my mom made chocolate cake, and I was eating chocolate cake, and I was wearing a Burger King crown, listening to We Are the Champions, spinning around in my chair. And then like I did that for a little bit longer, I turned off the stream. Yeah, core memory. Yeah, great stream.
ever since he has been actively streaming, his audience had fell in love with him from his zero personality.
I don't care about laws. I don't care about rules. I don't care about contracts. I don't care about anything. I only care about what I think is right and what I think is wrong.
To the disturbing stories he would tell about his environment.
That gets me in a lot of trouble. How many teeth did you lose? I have a single-digit number of actual real teeth left.
And his following only seemed to keep growing every year. Some could argue his life had significantly changed. He eventually could go full-time streaming and making content, and he could sustain himself doing that. He got gifts from Twitch, met other popular streamers.
Yeah, that was the, what do you call it? Oh, God. That was a good time, where I wore the maid costume.
And even found his own org in 2020, named One True King.
I remember
and
that.
He achieved all of this from playing World of Warcraft and giving his opinion on things, mainly the latest drama. But one thing that didn't change, ironically, was his lifestyle.
Oh! Come on. Come on. Man.
What the fuck?
Now, seeing as though this video is titled The Most Degenerate Streamer, that title would need some credibility behind it.
That was for Ornstein and Smoke. I remember this very well, too. I was in Anne Orlando, doing Dark Souls 1.
Believe me, there is a laundry list of the most disgusting things this guy has done, apart from the fact he lives in a slum and quite literally has the diet of an adult rodent, to the point where...
God. Oh, no.
He let his own teeth erode, but there are a few other things he's mentioned on stream, quite proudly to be honest, are downright deplorable and horrifying. And
Jesus Christ.
To warm you up with one of the most lukewarm instances, we all know Asmongold lives in a trash heap. And from said trash heap, he gets regular visits from cockroaches.
A roach flying at me. Give me a minute.
Where'd he go? Oh shit! He's on my belly. Look at him. He's right there. He got, oh god. Get him out of me. What are you doing, bro? Get out of my, go in the garbage
That's
can.
what you get for playing Overwatch. Yeah, the roach. It's not even a big deal. Are there any of them over around here? I feel like they've kind of despawned recently. I haven't seen a whole lot of them for a bit. I don't know where they're at. Haven't seen any animals in the house for like probably a week. Yeah, actually 2 weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. There haven't been any animals in a while. Yeah, maybe cleaning up the house. Maybe there's less of them. Yeah, it could be it.
Black mold.
Well, that's just a spider. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's a fucking spider.
And things like rats and raccoons, some of which he's actually made his pets, and feeds regularly like the raccoons.
We get a fucking raccoon. We get a fucking raccoon. And so we go out in the backyard, and I see this dumb mother. Okay, so this was not my pet. We caught it with a trap. And so it was in the backyard in the trap. Okay, it was not my pet raccoon. Because like we captured them with peanut butter, right? And so Jeff's idea, this dumb motherfucker likes peanut butter so much he got himself put in a cage. Go get me the peanut butter. So we go get the peanut butter. Jeff starts putting peanut butter on the raccoon. And we put peanut butter. It's like buttering a side of toast. He was just putting peanut butter all over him. He's like, how do you feel now, stupid? You fucking retard. He's putting peanut butter all over this fucking raccoon. Constantly. It's like revenge. Yes. And like the raccoon's pissed, but he's not that mad, right? And then finally, we put him in the trunk. We let the raccoon go. So dumb. Did the raccoon not move? No, he did. It took a while. All over the raccoon. But after a while, he kind of just was like, fuck it. Sitting in the cage. And he's fucking pissed. Yeah,
There's gonna be some fat raccoons on an American diet. And he also openly admitted when his teeth were actively eroding away and his gums were trying desperately to part way with said teeth.
Yeah.
He would wipe blood from said process on the walls, on top
Yeah.
of only showering once a week and referring to it as an earth shield.
I know this might be
So, yeah, that's, I mean, actually, yeah, that's just pretty much about it. Yeah, true. Yeah, there you go. I'm glad you feel shame for that. No, I don't feel shame for really hardly anything. It's just not, it's not in my, my emotional vocabulary. It's just what I do.
a surprise, but I shower about once a week, and
Yeah.
it works just fine. That is what you call an earth shield, okay? And it works really goddamn well.
I think Asmongold's
Well, it actually got bad. Like I actually put my hand on my chest, and I thought I was putting my hand on like bamboo. I was like, uh-oh, it's working. And so like I that's whenever I like, because I hadn't taken a shower at that point for like 3.5 months, because I just wanted to see what was going to happen. And so basically, because I've always had this problem with basically like dandruff. I've always had a really bad dandruff problem, and it always felt like it didn't matter how much I showered or what I did, it would just never really go away. So I thought to myself, I said, you know, did cavemen shower? Not really. I said, okay, well, let's go back to monkey. And so what I decided is that I would stop showering. I would stop cleaning myself entirely, because that's not what a caveman would do. And then my body would go back to a natural equilibrium, and it would stop having these problems. It worked. That's the reason why I always wore white t-shirts. It's not because I like the color white. Yeah, it's nice, but no, it's because of dandruff. That's why I stopped wearing white t-shirts. It's because I didn't have to. Yeah, bro, we did a factory reset. Shampoo's a conspiracy? I think it's fake. The whole thing is all fake, man. And I figured it out. I broke through out of the matrix. And now, like, y'all might not even have known this, but like a couple of, maybe like 5 days ago, I hadn't showered for 3 weeks. People couldn't even tell.
trying to pull off that tough cosplay. And he also only brushes his teeth a handful of times a year. This guy's immune system from constantly farming XP.
Fake news. I brush my teeth every single night. Even if I fall asleep and I wake up later on and I'm still super tired, I never go to bed without brushing my teeth. I brush my teeth every single night. Only once? Yeah, I brush my teeth once a day. Do you shower more when you're with a girl in real life? I forgot.
From the lesser bacteria that even attempt to get in his body and are met with an inhospitable environment.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And probably suffocate to death, or just say GG's next game, have made this guy's immune system an impenetrable apex predator. Like, this guy could...
it's always funny when people, we'd all go to conventions and everybody else would get sick. Everybody be getting sick at a convention.
Tank the
That's
most
crazy.
potent and toxic nerve agent.
Man.
Get up the next day and probably cook his signature meal, the only meal he knows how to cook, microwave potatoes.
I can make like 5 meals. I can make corned beef hash. I can make a steak. I can make a pizza. Okay. No, what I mean by making a pizza is I get a Totino's pizza, and then I take it out of the bag, and then I put pepperonis on it. I don't mean like making a pizza from scratch. I just mean I can put pepperonis on a pizza.
and $2 steak cooked well done is probably the worst thing on this list. Who eats their f***ing steak well done? You want to be sat there chewing for about 30 minutes, a little 2x2 centimeter fucking piece of steak, like Mike Tyson chewing on his glove. Like, that is actually
delicious
war crime. But that does not trump his worst voluntary incident yet. So when we all wake up, we usually wake up to an alarm, or maybe the sun finally glistening against our skin. But Asmongold was a bit different. He didn't have just a normal alarm clock. He had a biological, basically taxidermy one, because he would wake up when the sun started cooking the dead rat under his bed, and the putrid smell originating...
It was not under my bed. It's not true. It was in the other room. It was in my my other room, and it was under the window. And so the light would come in and cook it. And I didn't know why until I finally cleaned the room up, and it was like on a hard drive. I took a picture of the body. Didn't you kill it? No, it just died.
From the eroding corpse, he would use as an indication it's time to wake up.
Yeah.
He basically had a rat alarm clock and was proud of it.
The thing is, I used to use a dead rat as an alarm clock, actually, for my stream.
Yeah.
Because basically what happened...
This is one of the classics.
...was whenever the sun would come up, it would start cooking the corpse of the rat, and then it would start smelling again, and then the smell would wake me up. So I would use the rat effectively as an alarm clock.
It'd be 7 in the morning,
as soon as
7:40.
as soon as it, it got hot enough, it would wake me up, and then I would know, oh shit, it's time to stream. Yeah, you
Well, it's also that, because like I didn't want to clean the room up, so like whenever I smelled the dead rat in the room, I just closed the door. And I was like, well, if I just close the door, it's not like it's going to go through the door. And like the only time it would be in the morning.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Once again, this guy is a millionaire and lives like this and uses a dead rat as an alarm clock.
I got rid of it.
You could quite literally say the fame never changed him.
No, I got rid of the rat because I cleaned up the room. Because my mom was mad. And here's the real reason why I cleaned up the room. So basically my mom, and like there was a time where my mom and my ex-girlfriend lived with me at the same time. And they would order so many packages from Amazon. It was like we were a miniature warehouse. Like, I'm not even kidding. We'd get like 6 packages every single day. I don't know where the fuck they would, like, where the fuck this shit would come from. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, we need like an umbrella rack. Like, what do you mean we need an umbrella rack? We only have 1 umbrella. No, we don't. We bought 7. What? Why do we buy 7 umbrellas? Well, I mean, there's 1 for a car, and then there's 1 for your car, and then there's 1 for upstairs. Oh my God, right? And then it's like, well, I bought these plates. Why'd you buy these plates? Well, my grandma had plates like this, and I like the way these look. They remind me of her. And it's like, so I bought these. How much were they? $200. Great. And so we were running out of space to put all of the shit. I'm not even kidding. Like, there was so much shit that she was buying that we were running at. So I had to clean up the other room because we didn't, like, she, like, ordered a bunch of chairs. And I'm like, well, what the fuck are we going to do with all these chairs? And they're like, well, they're outdoor lawn chairs. And I'm like, okay, well, let's put them outdoors. She says, no, they're for in the house. I said, she says, you can't put them outside. What? And so I had to deal with this. Overconsumption. Well, it made her happy. I let her buy anything she was genuinely happy wasting my money on bullshit. And I looked at it, what a cheap price to pay to make my mother happy. And she was genuinely happy. Opening, oh wow, it came, and it's so happy. Jeez, but there was so much fucking shit. Oh my God. And she'd even buy stuff for other people too. Oh God. It's Christmas again? Yeah.
The most authentic streamer. But why is he like this? Is it a case of habit or just the way he grew up? Did he forget the credentials to his bank account and just never resolved it? Or is this an experiment by the government seeing if Tarzan could survive the modern world? Well, there's actually a long and very understandable reason for why he is like this.
Yeah.
Brother,
So on October 1st, 2024, everyone's questions and requests on why Asmongold lives like this were finally answered. But it was not the answer many would expect. And throughout the whole 35-minute video, he talks about almost the entirety of his life. Turns out he lived like this and actively let his teeth erode and fall out due to the fact he never thought he would live that long. And it all started in high school. Socializing was not an innate skill to him. He always felt left out and people treated him as such.
Ooh.
And so I've always had a big problem being able to, like, understand, like, where, how you should act, how you should treat people, what you should do, how you should say things, etc. So almost everything that I do is a learned performance rather than an innate social, instinct, if that makes sense.
He also wasn't good at school.
Well, so that is a little bit off, because if you actually look at a lot of my videos in high school and videos of, like, me when I was younger, I don't think there's a single video I have recorded that I'm not surrounded by, like, 5 other people, right? Like, I actually had a lot of friends growing up, but the problem is that I was basically the way that I see things is different than the way other people see things. Let's just say that. Like, I see things differently. And girls? No, of course not. I'm talking about guys. But, like, yeah, I see things a lot different. And in school, especially because, like, I always had, like, my own friend group, right? Like, I would have, like, usually maybe, like, 3 to, like, 10 people in, like, my close circle of, like, boys, right? And then we had, like, maybe 30, 40 other people outside of that were, like, ancillary guys that we knew, right? And like, this is, like, at school, then I had other friends at home and, like, the neighborhood, right? That was different. That's normal. I had two. Yeah, right. And so this what was gay, big gay. Well, actually, so a lot of times, like, we would all sleep together in the same bed, but nobody was gay. It was just the way it is. Like, that's just the way it is. Because we grew up together. It was just that was it. And so that was just life. A lot of people probably did that. But nobody was sucking each other's dick. I mean, I'll tell you that. It just was not really something people like doing. It's not really a thing for us. But yeah, other than that, no, I had a lot of friends, but I also had trouble fitting in with other, like, normal people. Like, all my other friends were also crazy too. Like, what we used to do is we used to drive around. Actually, you know what? Nope. And so anyway, we would do a lot of things that we probably shouldn't have done. And anyway, this started in middle school, and then in high school, things got better. And then after high school, things got really good until here's the funny thing, is that we were doing something we shouldn't have been doing. And we were literally this close from getting arrested and getting in a lot of trouble. And we didn't. And I went home and I told my friends that I was doing it with, that's it, boys. I know how 1% mounts in WoW work. I just got the mount drop. It's time to stop farming. I'm not doing this anymore. I stopped doing it, and I never did another thing that would get me in a lot of trouble ever again. My friend did not. Fucker went to prison. Yeah, 3 years. 3 years, that's right. See, I was right. I was fucking right. I fucking told him. I said, dude, we need to stop. We did it. That's enough. His name doesn't matter. But yeah, slow learner. That's it. And so we we had a lot of fun growing up. But yeah. So I did have a lot of friends growing up, but like I also had trouble like relating to like other normal people. Like, for example, whenever I worked at the IRS, we had a potluck, and I said that I was going to bring barbecued kittens to the potluck. And all the, like, you know, the government, federal government moms were fucking furious about this, right? They were really mad. They wanted to have me, like, written up to HR and everything about it. And I just thought it was funny, right? But, like, they were really, really mad at me about this. And, like, the only reason I really did it, by the way, is just so I wouldn't have to bring anything to the potluck. I was like, oh, I'm going to say something crazy so they don't want to talk to me, and I can just eat their food. Completely worked, by the way. Yeah. Like, but I thought it was funny. Nobody else was laughing, though. Actually, there was one other person laughing. My manager was laughing. That's why I didn't get in trouble. He saw it, he's like, you can't laugh at that! Okay. That was it. Nothing ever happened.
Failing his first semester
yeah.
with a 0.8 GPA, which apparently is hard to do.
Because my first semester in that high school, I had a GPA of a 0.08.
No. See. Okay. So this person thinks that we're talking about... So he thinks that we're talking about a 1.08. No. We're talking about a 0.08. You got it wrong. How? Every class, except for one. That's impossible? Thank you.
Actually impressive. It was hard to do. I had to go out of my way for this.
Yeah.
And on top of that, him and his mother weren't doing so well financially and were barely scraping by.
Growing up, my mom was, I think there was maybe 2 years or so where she made above the poverty level in terms of income. And so we basically barely skated by most of the time.
Even to the point on cold nights, he wouldn't even have heating, so he'd go to bed freezing.
Same time that, you know, the house is fucking, you know, we can barely pay for the house. We're worried about getting evicted from the house.
Oh, yeah.
We have no AC. Or no, we did have AC. We didn't have heat. And so, you know, I would go to sleep and, like, the house would be so cold. And I always viewed it as, like, you know, oh, I'm sleeping out on Mount Everest, right? It's like, you know, I'm cosplaying as Bear Grylls.
Yep.
And his mom's health at that time was starting to deteriorate.
Oh, it was so
where after
bad.
school, he would have
It's
to take care of her and often sacrifice his own comfort so she could be more comfortable. And
This is like it is a little bit of a mix here. It's not entirely true. So like that wasn't in high school. That was like a few years after high school or a couple of years after high school. But like, yeah, I mean, there was overlap.
not sleep well because of it. Because throughout the night he would be tending to his mother almost every 4 hours, and sometimes she would scream out in pain, which sometimes made him worry, and sometimes mistakenly hear her screaming. So he'd be checking on her even if she didn't need help.
Happened, and pretty much like her health would deteriorate more and more and more to the point where she couldn't drive, she couldn't do action.
Yeah. So basically what happened is that like I would wake up, there were a few times I would wake up, she'd be having like some like weird fucking thing going wrong with her. And she would be like screaming my name, and like this happened, and like I mean, I'm gonna be real, it stressed me out. It did stress me out a lot. And she would be like screaming my name, like telling me to help her, like she didn't know what to do, like I didn't know she was having a heart attack or something like that. And she was like begging me not to call an ambulance, right? Because it's expensive. And so I had to just like sit there and deal with it. And I like call my dad, and he like tried to help me a little bit. And you know, like it happened like 2 or 3 times. And then like I started getting like this thing where when I would wake up to hearing her screaming my name. And this went on like, and I would have to wake up. It would be like every like 2 or 3 hours. I would have to get up and check on her to make sure that she was okay. And like, this is, that was like maybe for like 6 months, a year, something like that. And that was, it was stressful. But then, that's what it was.
Why she couldn't get a job anymore, and then it relied on me more and more to completely support her.
She had this like bleed in her eye from like some weird problem, I don't know why, where like she couldn't see out of like most of one of her eyes, and so she couldn't drive anymore. And I'm gonna be honest, she never really could. But I mean, like, and I remember one time because we had to do a U-turn. I remember this so well. This is like in like the 2000s, and she was in a truck with no power steering, right? Or like the steering was like really hard for her to do, and she was turning it all the way, and it was like her wrist, like she had broke her wrist because of this fucking accident that we were in, and so she couldn't turn it, and so she was like fucking turning this thing, and like I thought we were gonna get in a wreck, like, and I remember we were going to church, and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna fucking die. Yeah, this guy one woman after my grandmother. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah, and she basically was. She's like, ah, and she's like turning the wheel, and I'm like. It's crazy to think back on how fucking ridiculous it was, but that's what happened. Yeah.
I got to the point where, like, at this time period,
Yeah.
I would wake up like every 2 hours or so with like a weird thing where I would hear her screaming my
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
And this went on for maybe like 6 months to a year.
And when
Just a
she
bit.
was seriously ill, she would beg him not to call the ambulance because they could not afford
He
it.
says it.
She would like beg, like she was like on the ground, like crying,
That's what I said.
begging me not to call an ambulance. And so this was very upsetting.
And due to this, he stopped thinking about what other people thought about him and stopped putting effort into social norms, which is when his degeneracy started. But one of the
Not really. So it actually, that's not entirely true. It really started, I don't know if I said it in that video, like that was like, there's like multiple points, right? It's like multiple steps down a staircase into hell. And I think the first ones was like, when like my mom stopped being able to get jobs, and this is, I was like 15 or so, and she stopped being able to like support herself, and it was like really bad. And like obviously she could rely on child support, etc., but like then I was 18, and so that wasn't a thing. And then my dad would still help her out, but like it was just really, really bad. She wasn't getting jobs, wasn't doing anything. And then on top of that, fuck, like what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's when my teeth started falling out too, right? And so, like, I got into the position, like, I had the feeling, I was like, okay, well, you know, like, all my friends are, like, getting jobs, and, like, you know, they're moving on with their life. Like, I still have to live with my mom, and my teeth are falling out. Like, I really need to, like, you know, like, things are never going to get better. Like, my life sucks. And so, like, I'm just going to totally stop thinking about, like, the way that people see me or, like, anything, because, like, it's just going to get worse. Right? That's it. And so that's the reason why I stopped giving a fuck. It was actually, I was like maybe 20 or 21, something like that, somewhere around there. Yeah. A lot of people would have lost it. Kudos. No, plenty of people go through harder shit than I have. People that haven't, that go crazy. It is what it is. I mean, like, I don't look for like sympathy or fucking bullshit like that. I'm just saying this is just what happened.
The main reasons behind it that he says quite plainly in the video was that he always thought he was going to end his life after high school.
I had always assumed that I would kill myself after high school. Like, that was my plan.
YouTube.
And
So he just gave up on things like taking care of himself and
Do you want to
cleaning
know the worst thing about it? Is all of the things that I predicted would happen whenever I was a kid and why I wanted to kill myself came true. I was right about all of it. I was. Everything that I thought was going to happen ended up happening.
his teeth. But due to a World of Warcraft expansion, he actually forgot to follow through with said plan.
you know, Wrath of the Lich King came out, and I just got distracted. I forgot. And so I ended up not doing that.
In the video, he also states he was constantly prioritizing his mother and was constantly scared she would die. Something of which did unfortunately happen in October of 2021, which really didn't make his antics worse. It just increased a tad bit. So to answer the question why he lived like this, he basically thought he was never going to live past high school, so just stopped putting effort into things. But recently he's been attempting to change his life, even a before and after picture of his
I've tried to improve some things. I have. I've tried to take very, very minimal effort in improving things in my life, like you know, like my car is nice. I have a nice car now.
I cleaned up like my whole kitchen. Like my kitchen still looks like that, by the way. Actually, I think there's some shit right here right now, but that's just, in the intermediary. Buy a dishwasher? No. Why do I need to buy a dishwasher? You have plastic forks. Use plastic forks. I don't mind doing dishes. It's not a big deal to me. Like, a lot of people think like, oh, I hate doing this. I don't give a fuck about doing dishes. You just need a woman? Yeah, true, right? You just have her do it. Problem solved.
And clean, but the video
you fix the sink? No, sink's still fucked up. Barely is any water coming out of the sink. But I don't use that one a lot, so I haven't really thought about it. But I do need to get a plumber to come in and fix it. Yeah, that's about it. And so, bro, it wasn't lazy, bro. Was just depressed. I wasn't depressed or lazy. I just didn't give a fuck. Like, I know it might sound crazy, but like, I can just ignore things. I can do like. Do y'all know how I get distracted really easily and I lose focus a lot? Well, I do that in real life too. I'm really, really, really good at it. And so, like, something bad can happen, and I just go lay down, and then I forget about it, and then I get up and I just keep going. That's what I do. Anything bad that happens, I just go lay down for a while, I deal with it mentally, and then I move on. Yep, that's it. Disassociation? Well, it's not that. I mean, like, it's just it's just the process. Like, you have to, like, things that are really stressful, it takes time for me to, like, process them. And so I do that, and then I come out and I keep going. That's it. And so, like, but with, like, garbage or, like, stress or whatever, like, yeah, having garbage around it's annoying, right? Like, for example, like, somebody sent me some shit and I could just put it on the table. Like, I was, like, wrapping presents for Christmas, and I didn't have to, like, fucking find this, like, little small, 2-foot area of surface area on my floor that, like, wasn't covered with garbage. And so, like, to do it. So, like, it is convenient to have the house cleaned. And so, yeah, no, that's true.
It actually received a lot of positive feedback, and a lot of people understood why he would live like this now. And the fact he was trying to actually change and lose the thought process he has nothing else to lose and he's eventually going to end it. But cleaning his kitchen was a first good step, but a lot of people credit it to the fact around the same time he was banned on Twitch due to some very controversial things he said.
This was a good time.
Palestine and Gaza conflict.
If you want to consider I can't. I have to skip it because I don't want to get banned again. But yeah, I don't want to have another ban for this. But yeah, people were not happy about this at all.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch, and
this
also
is
what my plans are.
Yeah, another
forward.
2 weeks.
And I don't really want to like mince words or like try to like, oh, I wasn't.
Well, and this is the problem. You said nothing wrong. Well, either way, right? I mean, I just like, but if you watch the video, you'd see there's a lot more to it than that. But like, the point is that it's kind of like another metaphor of like, remember what I said is I don't see things the way that other people see things. It's a huge problem for me. Like, it's like actually a massive, like, insane, like, issue that affects me in basically every facet of my life. Because I don't have feelings the way other people do. And it causes me a lot of problems.
Or promoting it.
Crazy problems.
I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say.
I never really tried to diagnose myself. A lot of people love diagnosing themselves as like, oh, I have ADHD, I have dyslexia. Like, well, to be fair, I mean, my mom actually did have me fucking checked for that. And big surprise, yeah, I did. But, yeah, I just, I have fat retard. There's a lot of people that have fat retard, okay? Like, you're in good company. And so, no, but I never tried to take one or anything like that. Am I on antidepressants? No.
And do you know who reached out to me?
No.
And,
Never took antidepressants.
They wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people
Yes,
that were
not for me.
Islamic and people that were had fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that?
Can we get
How
Adderall,
absolutely
Asmon?
humiliating is that? And these were the people.
That'll
I was
be when I
trying to
play
say
Marvel
were
Rivals again.
bad. And I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole.
But due to this situation, people are actually blaming him for the recent Twitch adpocalypse. People like Hassan.
This was a good time. Oh my god. Yeah, and the thing is that I'm sure that part of it was because of me. I am. For sure it was partly because of me. Absolutely.
Piker.
When Asmongold is making threats like this against that sort of thing, are gonna hurt other content creators, you know?
But Hassan hasn't said the nicest things either.
America. This is the 2018 or 19 days. I remember this. Yeah. This is back when we would do the Trainwrecks podcast, and so I actually forgot what I was gonna say.
Deserve 9/11, dude.
And people like Casey Tron, person who has
She's
previously
not
admitted to
happy.
liking a tweet saying that Asmongold killed his mother.
I'll admit, I did like that
jeez.
tweet, and I have a lack of respect for Asmongold after letting his mom with COPD live in those sort of conditions.
And also conforms to the rhetoric that he is to blame for the adpocalypse. But Asmongold is persistently...
Guys, I gotta be honest. You guys know I like to cause drama and everything. I don't give a fuck, really. People say bad shit about me. It really doesn't matter. I get more offended if a dog barks at me. At least the dog's cute.
saying it's not his fault this is happening. It's actually due to the fact that Twitch picks favorites. It doesn't actually moderate its platform very well and treat all streamers the same, to the point where if two streamers break the same rule, only one of them would get banned that isn't favored by Twitch. Which, I mean, he does have a point.
Yeah.
An example of this is that if you get banned 3 times in a year, you are supposed to be permanently banned from the platform, no matter...
I think, by the way, this is a stupid rule. They should have never created this. All suspensions are not created equal.
your status, but some streamers went unaffected when banned multiple times within a year.
Yeah.
Stinky. Stinky. Stinky.
But as the most degenerate streamer,
Okay.
I hope Asmongold continues to improve his life so he stops living like a borderline caveman. But I hope to God some of you watching do not relate to this lifestyle and living conditions, because God help you if you do. And it probably is true from the comments I receive. I think the black mold is starting to grow on the surface layer of your brain, because some of you are quite possibly the worst degenerates. But anyway, bye-bye.
So, okay.
There's been a lot of talk.
There were a few parts of this that were not completely accurate. I will say, like, the dead rat was in another room. It wasn't under my bed because, and there's a reason why it wasn't under my bed. I didn't have a bed. I had a mattress that was on the floor. So the rat couldn't have gotten under the bed because the bed was on the floor. So now I actually do have, I have a bed that's elevated because I bought a new bed, right? And so that part was not true. Overall, good video. Yeah, I would say some of this was accurate. He got some of the more arcane things about, like, the Reddit stuff at the beginning, and then me, like getting that video and then starting to upload regularly. Yeah. Didn't your girlfriend make you buy a new bed? No, she made me get... Okay, so that's not... What she made me do is, so I had... Okay, so my house was the house that everybody would go to if we were going to have, like, a small party, right? Like, big parties, no, not my house. 5 to 10 guys, always my house. And so everybody would come over to my house, and people would go up here, they'd be downstairs in the backyard, drinking, fucking around. And this was happening at, like, age... No, girls? Of course not.
But like just guys. And at age, I'm trying to think. Like I'd say like 18 to like 23, somewhere around there. And so basically like I thought it was good because everybody fall asleep at the house. So I thought it'd be a good idea that I found like a sofa mattress that I put on my floor. And I said, well, people always fall asleep on the floor. So what if we made the floor a bed? Because now if people fall asleep on the floor, they're falling asleep in a bed. And I'm like, bro, this is next level. Like, this is what it's all about, right? Just own it. Yeah, no. And that's it. So we had a bed on the floor. And so people would do that. And that's always how it was. And I have friends come over to fall asleep fucking 5 a.m. And the Roach Palace, yeah. And so you saw poverty, no drugs. Yeah, I have friends that do drugs. Nobody did anything more than weed, though. Like, we never had people doing coke or like, well, we did, but not at my house. But it was not a thing. Like, I didn't want to have to deal with that shit because then you got people acting weird. Like, somebody smokes weed, they just sit there in a chair and go, that's it, right? But like somebody does some other shit, you never know what's going to happen. And so, yeah, not for me. And anyway, though, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so basically, so she moved in, and she was like, "Why is there a mattress on the floor?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "There's just a mattress lying on a fucking floor. Why do you have a mattress on the floor?" I said, "Well, like, okay, so, like, you know how people come over a lot." Well, like if they get drunk, they fall asleep, they can sleep on the mattress. She's like, well, that's not going to happen. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not going to happen? She's like, there's nobody's going to come over like getting drunk, falling asleep on the floor. I'm like, okay, all right, I guess not. And so then I had to go, and I still have the mattress. It's decaying and rotting in my backyard now. And so I had to get rid of the mattress. And I put it in the closet for a while. I was going to save it. But then I had to get rid of that because I had to get rid of stuff in the other room. And so it was like I had to get rid of it. So she made me get rid of that mattress. And then apparently I learned then that you're supposed to change your sheets. I didn't know that you were supposed to do this until I was like 27 or 28. And so I thought my mom would have me change my sheets like every 2 or 3 years just because she's being a bitch. Yeah, I thought she's just being a bitch, causing me trouble. Like trying to waste my time on some bullshit because she was just mad at me. But there's a video, by the way. And so I then finally I had to start changing the sheets. You sweat in your sleep? No, fat people sweat. I don't sweat. That's what fat people do. Absolutely not. That's disgusting. Anyway, so basically what happened, just joking around. No, I'm serious. I never changed my sheets. And so, and so that's it. Self-called fat people. Yeah. See, that's not what happens. You're supposed to change them every 3 to 5 days. Well, I know that now. So like I usually change my dad's sheets like about every week or so. And so like I do that now. That's for my dad. Like for me, like, you know, it is what it is. What do you expect? And so, anyway, fuck, what was I going to say besides that? Oh, fuck. Yeah, so then I didn't change the bed, though. The bed was the same bed, but I had to get new sheets. That was the difference. And then she made me get rid of the mattress, which was like, I still am not happy about that. I'm going to be honest. I'm really not. Because everything was so good whenever I feel like my life did get noticeably worse when I had to get rid of my floor mattress. Just buy another one. I thought about it. Yeah, I thought about it. Yeah, get on. This is a decent video though. Yep. This is it. He got banned for 2 weeks on Twitch. Started to go to the gym and clean his house. Biggest debuff was constantly streaming on Twitch and living on the internet. Yeah, no, I mean, if you took me off the internet, I'd just go do something else, right? I mean, that'd be it. Like, I am the,
before I had the internet and I had YouTube, like I was designing websites, I was writing, I was making comics, I was self-teaching myself animation, I was learning coding, and then I started like the more I got on the internet and I started like getting on YouTube and then on World of Warcraft, that pretty much stopped, and then I pretty much just did that. That was it. Sure, yeah, no, that was it. Massive Cap? No, I mean, that's just, it was Macromedia Flash. I was like 12 years old. I remember. Yeah. And didn't you have raccoons in the kitchen as well? We never had a raccoon in the kitchen. We had a dead possum in the kitchen one time. But that's it. Man would eat the bubonic plague like candy. Man, I swear, every time me and my friend are reminded of Asmongold, we called his lair the debuff cave. Man. Man. Everything I've learned about this man has been against my will. Oh, shit. Wow. Asmon is one of the many cases where if they were just cut off of the internet for like a month, their life would improve to such a degree that they would be unrecognizable. Oh, man. You can't take me off the internet. I have to be on the internet now. Yeah, sure, there's a lot of debuffs. No, I realized this because, like, I was having, like, every once in a while I would have a little bit of breathing problems, and I was like, why am I having breathing problems? Like, this is for fat people. Like, fat people have breathing problems, and smokers have breathing problems. I shouldn't be having breathing problems. And so I found out that my bed was moist with mold. Like, all of my pillows had mold on them. And so, like, because I didn't know this because I wasn't really thinking about it. And so I was sleeping in mold for like 2 years. And I got rid of them. I did. I went to Target. I bought 2 new pillows. I did. I changed my life. That was actually the day that I bought new sheets as well. Not your baiting? Okay. Ask anybody that's come over to my house if there was a gigantic pile of pillows outside of my house. Or outside of my room, and then I got moved outside to my house. Yeah. Did you get a pillow cover? Yeah, I did. I have 2 pillowcases. Have you had breathing problems since? Of course not, no. Was the mattress in the house store? I can't remember. No, it wasn't. It's a new one. How are you still alive? I'm gonna be honest, guys. People probably really don't want to hear this. Every single day that I get enough sleep, I wake up and I feel amazing. I never get sick. I never get, like, stomach aches, really. Every once in a while, I'll get a headache. Other than that, I never had, like, the last time that I was legitimately sick was in 2009. And even in high school, I would get sick, but I wouldn't really be sick. I would just have a temperature high enough to convince my mom to let me stay home. That was it. And so, like, yeah, that was it. And so that's why I don't really worry about, like, anytime that, like, people, like, if there's a friend of mine that's, like, sick or something, that they need something from me, I just go do it. Because I know it won't affect me or bother me or anything. You get sick from people? Yeah, well, that's it. And, do you ever do laundry? Earth Shield? Yeah, exactly. His immune system? Well, it's also, I've eaten poison before, too. Because I had to, I was cooking a steak and I got poison on the steak. I cooked it into the steak and ate it. But, other than that, that's about it. Rat poison? No, it's bug poison is different. And so, yeah, that's it. Spraying by a bug. How was it? It does not taste good. It was like sour. And, yeah. And like also like I never like the way that I clean my face. I don't really use anything on my face, but I'll use sometimes I'll use like a knife and like scrape stuff off my face or like off my body. And other than that, I don't really use a lot of soap other than in my hair. And that's just the way that I've lived for my whole life. And yeah, that's about it. You have beautiful skin. Yeah, I think that's the way it's supposed to work. Because I think that's what cavemen used to do. So I just look at what I look at what cavemen do, and I just do that because that's what worked. No rock? Yeah, exactly. Best way to exfoliate? Yeah, no, a caveman logic? No, there's no way. I mean, I think if you look at a picture of my bathroom, you'll see there's a knife and pliers there. The pliers were for my teeth, and the knife is for my skin. Did you shower in college? No. Not really. That's why I lost all his teeth? Yeah. And so, they survive without technology or skincare. Why couldn't we? Yeah, exactly. And also, like, I look at a lot of friends of mine that I have, and I think that they look older than I do. Straight up. So, like, all these people that are, like, talking about, like, oh, yeah, well, I have all these, like, routines and I do all this stuff. And it's like, you're, like, you've got back problems constantly. You've got, like, your shoulders fucked up. Like, you've got a million issues. You have this skincare routine. You're getting acne. What the fuck are you doing? Just stop doing all of it. Do you brush your hair? No. That's for girls. You'll feel better after a shower? No. Full stress, full work hygiene. They've been age maxing? Yeah, exactly. How do you have the finesse to do DIY exfoliation surgery but not video games? The real reason is because I don't care if it cuts me. And so I'm not afraid of, like, I've cut myself many times. But it just doesn't matter. Like, you heal in like a day. I mean, like, your skin's made to heal, so it doesn't matter if you cut yourself. When did you last shower? Like 3 days ago, 4 days ago. Are you playing Rivals? Yeah. It doesn't hurt that much? No. No, it's not that bad. Yeah. And it's also a little bit, right? Regenerative healing factor. Your beard looks good. Yeah, I never... actually, I did trim my beard a little bit, but, like, hardly ever. I don't do anything for my beard or anything like that. I thought you were seeking therapy for taking care of yourself. No, I am. Now... So, like, what I do now is, I still do the knife because I think that the knife is unironically a better way of cleaning myself than using soap. And I think that people that use soap are animals. And I think that I'm the only person who's truly living like a Homo sapien was made to live. And I think soap is for idiots. Except for, no, it just is. And so, drink more water. I usually drink a cup of water a day. Yeah, I drink a cup of water a day. And, how do you clean yourself with a knife? You just take it and, I could probably show you. Fuck. Do I have anything sharp? TOS? No, it's fine. Yeah, it's like a shave. It's like basically, it's like shaving, but doing it... Excuse me. It's a lot like shaving. It's self-harm? No, it's not. It's self-care. Like fish scaling? Yeah. No straight razor? Yeah, well, I have an actual knife. And so it's not a big deal. Romans used like a metal thing for bathing? Yeah. How did you cope with tooth pain whenever they were critical HP threshold? I would pass out from the pain. Like, it would be so bad that I would actually just pass out. Like, I would collapse. And, that went on for maybe like 2 or 3 years. And, yeah, it was crazy how bad it was. And, show the knife. Well, I have like a new one. Well, there's like 3 knives that I have. Yeah, there's like the one that I use that's like sharp, but it's not sharp enough to like cut a lot of like skin off, and then because like I put that over like places where I have like more hair, and I don't want to like, you know, have like shaved arms because that's for girls. But then I have another knife that's a lot sharper, and then I recently got a really sharp knife, and I've been trying to use that more. And so yeah, no, it's a bit different. You don't wash yourself properly still? Well, if I don't wash myself properly, why is it that I have no skin problems at all? So why is it that every other person that I know has like weird skin problems? I have no skin problems. I think that everybody else is the one who's wrong and I'm the only one who's right. That's the reason why. People don't want to admit it because it might be embarrassing, but I think it's true.